AG, how would you describe trade deadline day for the New York Jets?
Pretty explosive and entertaining and tough because of the magnitude of the players that we had, that we parted with. And it's always tough because these teams come with these offers that sometimes it's just hard to refuse. Listen, we hate to lose the players, but we know that we've created something for ourselves to be able to build with some young players. We can come in and be a part of what we got going on.
Can you speak about how you and Darren Muji want to build this thing brick by brick?
Well, the thing is, we have a couple of sayings that we have when it comes to the foundation of this team. And first off, we want guys that love football. We want guys that are smart, tough, aggressive, resilient, and all those things that we try to put together and try to go out and find players that actually fit that mold. And now with the type of ammunition that we have, man, we have a really good shot at trying to go and get a lot of those guys high in the draft to be able to do that.
You said you were going to listen. What made action happen, starting with the Colts when they call and inquire about Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, and again, like, these are not situations where we go out and we're looking, because we're happy with the guys that we have. But when these teams start calling and when they start throwing out 2 first-round picks and another player, that's something that you really have to listen to. And I think Mooj and his staff did a really good job of vetting out all the nonsense and really talking to the guys that were, or the women that were really serious about what they were trying to offer. And man, the offer was just too good to pass up. And again, man, those guys are great players. They did a lot of good things here for the Jets. Obviously, they were all pros, so it's kind of hard to part with those type of guys. But again, you have to make business decisions in this league, and that's what we have to do today.
What does this say about your confidence in Brandon Stevenson on the outside and A.Z. Thomas as well?
Yeah, well, obviously what you saw from the last game, both of those guys went out against 2 top-notch elite receivers and had really good games. Obviously, Brandon's been playing like really, really top-notch over these last couple of weeks, and AZ's coming in as a young player who we drafted, who's one of us, and we feel like he's going to come in and do a good job for us. So, and listen, he's going to make some mistakes, and we know that, but he's going to progress as this season progresses also.
How did the Quinnen Williams deal come together?
Again, teams are calling, and listen, they came up with a deal that was hard to refuse, and we feel like it was a situation where we got to move forward with it, and that's how it was. A lot of these deals were like that. Again, we vetted out the ones that were good, and the ones that wasn't good, we just let it go to the wayside and make the decisions.
Was it nonstop calls today for you guys?
Yeah, I think I think it was all teams, because I don't think every offer is truly legit until they really get serious about what they're talking about. And again, we didn't make calls. Calls came to us, and it worked out for us.
How do you guys balance the now and also the future? Because now when you look at your draft capital, you have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years.
I would say this: we're not in this thing to lose games at all. And we think that we have a model that, man, doesn't matter if you have injuries, it doesn't matter if you could have adversity, that our brand is going to be what wins games for us, And listen, it's really good when you have talent behind that brand. So the thing is, we're still moving forward as far as, man, we're game planning. We're trying to win every game that we have each week, and then also be able to build what we're trying to build with the draft capital that we have. So it's a two parts to this thing of, man, we're looking to win now, but we're also looking to build as we continue to try to win.
This is a historic day, and you've been in the NFL for decades. Have you ever been part of something like this?
It's hard for me to think and say, yes, I have. But it is pretty historic. I mean, the thing is historic because you have 2 legit, really good players that you part with. That's always tough. But you also look at what you're getting and knowing that you can really build with a young group of guys coming out of college and be able to really set a foundation that you're trying to set.
How much do you enjoy the challenge of that? Is that you guys had a young team going into this thing, and you're only getting younger now? Yeah,
well, I think just being in this league is a challenge, and there's so many different avenues that you have to really try to navigate and try to figure things out. I mean, if you're not a competitor, it's hard, So you have to look forward to the challenge of whatever this league brings you. And this is one of them, you know, because again, we lost two really, really good players, and now we have to bring in more players. And I'm not going to say we're going to sit here and replace Quinn or replace Sauce, you know, but that might have to be by committee, you know. So hopefully these guys that we have in there now, they understand that. And listen, the guys are ready to go. You know, the players that we have here, they're ready to go. And again, they're not going to blink. And they're just looking at this as an opportunity for them to go out there and be able to make plays and help us win.
Can you speak about how you guys have explored the trade route throughout since you guys stepped in the door in January? If you think about most recently acquiring Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs and Jarvis Brownlee, and then you make the trade, Michael Carter sent to Philadelphia, Mechie comes back, there's a draft pick swap, and then finally today we see the blockbuster deals.
Yeah, well, you know what, I think that's a better question for Mooj, to be honest with you. Because him and his team does a lot of work on every player across the league. And when things come up to where, man, we can make a move as far as get a player that fits us, he brings to me, and we do a good job of discussing it. And, man, those discussions can be into the wee hours of the night, you know, making sure that we're making the right decision, just like these discussions were. And man, it works out for us. The thing is, it's a lot of communication that goes into a lot of it, and a lot of background work that's done by a lot of people that, you know, that really doesn't get the credit that they should get. And they've been good. They've been good. The communication has been outstanding.
What's going to be the message to the guys now moving forward? Because they've had relationships with these two players, in Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, and they're very good players in the National Football League. What are you going to say to the guys?
Well, what is there to say? They've seen it, you know, so they know this is how the NFL is. And this league is always fluid. So these guys are grown men, and you don't have to sit there and try to sugarcoat anything to them. They know exactly how this league is. And I think people just, I think they look at that and they blow it out of proportion because players come and go in this league. I mean, at some point, I was part of that too, you know, and I had to leave. So, but it's the brand that we have that we want to try to continue to develop, and that's going to help us win games. And this is not about one person. It's not about two people. This is about 53 men working together to try to go out there and win games.
Are you looking forward to getting back on the field after you guys finally were able to achieve that winning feeling at Cincinnati? Now you're hosting a home game against the Browns.
Yeah, but it was good to get that win. The players went out there and did a hell of a job, especially being down by 15 or whatnot, and being able to come back in that second half and be able to get that win. That just shows a lot about the growth of what we're trying to do, about the grit of the players that we have, and man, about just being able to learn how to win games. So obviously, yes, we're ready to get back on the field. We need that bye week. We need the bye week, but yeah, we're ready to get back tomorrow, start practicing, and get ready to go play Cleveland and get a win.
Let's end here. Do you think this can be a momentous day for this organization looking back?
We expect it to, you know, and I think every day is a momentous day for us because every day we're working our ass off to be the best we can be.
Thanks, AG.
All good. Thank you.